What is up, Rehab Chiro community? We are back with another episode in the beautiful month of November. We are getting close to Thanksgiving. I hope everyone is finishing out Q4 strong. I hope that in the past few weeks, maybe I've been able to give you a bit of a kick in the ass, because I cannot tell you how many people have just gone on vacation the last 2 months of the year. It's unbelievable to think there are 4 quarters in a year, and most people take one completely off. And I love competing against you guys that take a quarter off a year. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. And I have empathy, because then you come and wonder why you're broke. Well, I can tell you, because out of every year, you take 3 months off. You take a sabbatical, a 3-month sabbatical, and you don't even realize it. I'm going to wait till the new year. I'm going to wait till the new year. I'm going to wait till the new year. Nope. I'm doing more work now than I've ever done in the entire year combined. And you, my friends, are taking a break. So bring it on, baby. I absolutely love it, love it, love it. Before we get in today's episode, we will be in Austin, Texas, January. Let me guess. Wait. Let me get the dates. Hold on. No edits here. January 25 and 26 in Austin, Texas. Keep your eyes peeled. We are going to be releasing guest passes very soon. To give you an idea of what we're going to be doing, we are going to be going over our referral program, our referral system. Everyone wants systems in their business, but no one knows how to create them. So we will be doing that live and in person in January. Even more than that, you're going to get around a group of 100 to 125 rehab chiros who are just like you, building businesses in the US and Canada, who have been where you've been, are doing what you're doing, and think how you think. And if you feel lonely in your business, if you're not sure if you're ready, I promise you what you're going to do is get around a bunch of people. And I mean this in the most respectful way. They're normal. They're just like you. Many times they've just taken the risk, taken the leap, done the job a little bit faster, had a little more courage than maybe you have. And so if you're interested, please keep your eyes out. We are going to be releasing guest passes soon, and I cannot wait to see you there. In this episode, I talk about how my practice, Strive to Move, made $1 million. So my practice will do $1 million in top line revenue. And for anyone wondering, that is with a 35% profit margin. And the best news of all, I have not done any of the treatment. Well, that's not fully true. I do have one guy that I see about 5 times a year. So you can do the math on that. I did 5 treatment sessions this year. So let me be completely transparent. I did 5 treatment sessions at Strive to Move. However, the rest of the $999,000 whatever dollars that came in were not because of me. And so I can tell you that absolutely, as a rehab chiro, you can build a 7-figure practice with a very, very healthy profit margin in a building that I own with a team of people that are absolutely crushing it. And let me shout them out at Strive to Move. Kaylee, Ashton, and Sophia, the 3 of them together by themselves, just the three people in that business, are just kicking absolute ass and taking names. So $1 million that we will do in 2024. And we might even do more than that based on our Black Friday. But I'm going to walk you through the 7 steps that you must do. You must do in order to get to 7 figures in revenue. If you want to build a business that does 7 figures and makes a healthy profit margin and build a life that you love, you have to listen to this episode. And if you're interested in Chiro Biz 101, where I can teach you personally how I've done this and bring you in a community of 120 people who are on that path too, click in the show notes below and we'll see you on the other side. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Business School for the Rehab Chiropractor. Class is officially in session. My name is Justin Rabinowitz, and I am a rehab chiropractor on a mission to teach you, a fellow rehab chiropractor, the exact tools and systems I've used to build my own successful rehab chiropractic practice so you can do the same. I hope you enjoy, and please subscribe. All right, number 1, fix the model. I work with rehab chiros every single day that start as a solo practice, and they talk to me about making money and building wealth and potentially getting to $1 million one day, like we're talking about in this podcast. And then we start to lay out on paper what the numbers actually say. Very simply, we look at their schedule, we look at what it would take to get the schedule full, and we look at their current price and their structure and their model, and we realize that under no circumstance this model is scalable. Let me give you an example. You tell me that you want to build $1 million practice, and if your schedule is full based on your price point, you can only make $250,000 in gross revenue. That means you're going to need 4 providers to be completely full in order to get to that revenue rate. The bigger problem with that also is the profit margin. But the first thing is we have to actually fix the model. One of the lines that we use in my business at Strive to Move and in my Rehab Chiro coaching program, we talk about making it work on paper. And making it work on paper means that can we, with reasonable certainty, expect as a rehab chiro to have 2.5 providers full and get to $1 million. Now, my practice Strive to Move, we are able to get to $1 million with 2 providers. which I think is something to strive for and absolutely is possible because I'm able to show that to you. But with 2.5 providers, if the schedules are 80% full, can you reach $1 million in revenue? If you cannot reach $1 million in revenue with 2.5 full providers or 80% full, your model is not scalable. And so the first thing that we need to do is go back and actually fix your business model. The business model is broken. You can add anything you want on top of it. You can add better marketing, you can add better sales, you can add anything that you want. But the reality is if the model is broken from the start, you are going to struggle to scale your business to $1 million. So number one, fix the model first. Number two, you get paid first. One of the most important aspects of building a business is that you have the money to go reinvest. If you think about a big company like Apple, one reason they have so much cash on hand all the time is because they negotiate terms. And let me just bring you into their world a little bit, and I'll bring it back to how this impacts you as Rehab Chiro. So one of the things that Apple does as being the ruler of the universe, essentially, and why they are always so rich as a company is because they negotiate payment terms, meaning that they get their money in 30 days and they pay out money to vendors in 90 days. And so if you think about that at scale, they are always getting their money in 30 and paying out in 90. So there's a 60-day delta on that where they're always keeping their cash. The reason why that's important to all of you as Rehab Chiros is because the more money you can get up front, the more successful you're going to be. So this is why we really encourage people to build a business where they're going to schedule out plans of care and ideally get paid in full. Now, before I go too far into it, I have some people in my program based on where they are, specifically in a province of Canada where this isn't possible. There are other ways that we can go about it, and we might have to be creative and we might need to schedule some things out, but it is possible. However, if you don't have restrictions like that in your town, state, country, you do want to get your money first. There's a reason why insurance practices struggle so much. It's because they do the treatment today and they don't get paid for at the earliest 30 days. So you do the business today, but you don't get paid for 30 or 60 days. You never have cash on hand. However, if you run a model where you get paid in full upfront before you even deliver the service, now all of a sudden you ask someone to pay you today, you get $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. And then over the next 30, 60, 90 days, you deliver the service. But because you have the money on day one, now we can go back and we can reinvest it. We can reinvest it into marketing. We can reinvest it into sales, we can reinvest it into people. The people that have the cash win. And if you have cash flow because you're getting paid first before you even deliver the work, you're going to have an opportunity to go and grow and scale your business. If you're always waiting on your money until after you deliver the service, you are always going to be cash poor. Yes, it will come one day, but the speed at which you can build without cash on hand is going to be very, very limited. So number two, you want to get paid first. Number three, you have to learn pricing strategy. You have to learn pricing strategy. When I ask people that I work with how they decided on their price, they typically give me some version of, well, I looked around and I saw what average was in my area and I picked a price appropriate to that. Now, oftentimes when they pick a price, it's a little bit lower than the people around them because they have negotiated against themselves on behalf of their patient. Let me say that again. They have negotiated against themselves on behalf of their patient. But back to the thing at hand. If you are looking at your community and deciding on price based on what everyone else is charging, the rest of your marketing is actually going to be bogus. Here's what I mean. Most of the Rehab Chiros in my community believe they offer a better service, a higher level service. They spend more time, they deliver quality care, they give a better experience than everyone in their community. But then they charge the same price or less. One of the biggest signifiers of value is price. And so if you have a marketing message and you try to convince people that you have a better service, you can deliver better outcomes, and you are priced the same as everyone else, there's going to be a little bit of a red flag in people's minds of, I don't understand. Because the way that humans signify value is based on price. And so when you are expensive or when you're more expensive, people might ask why, which is a great question, which I'll get into the next thing. But if you are priced the same and say you're better, people aren't going to believe you. And so if you don't understand pricing strategy and just believe that you look in your community and see what everyone else is charging, I think that's the absolute silliest way to establish a price. If you truly are in your community and you deliver a better service and you get better outcomes and you're the person that people come to after trying the cheaper options, you need to be more expensive. You need to be more expensive. Number four. In order to get to $1 million, you actually have to build a marketing plan. If you're listening to this podcast and you have a regular business, and some of you guys are going to nod your head right now in shame, and don't worry, I've been there too, but you run this business like a roller coaster. And so you start the business and you're really, really slow. So you get out into your community because you have all the time in the world and you go and build relationships and network and do social media and run ads. And then your business starts to build. And then it starts to build and starts to build. And then when it builds, you fulfill that and you're in the clinic treating hamstrings and back pain. And because you're doing that, you now can't go out and do the marketing that got you in the first place. And so what we see is oftentimes you have a terrible month and you go and do your marketing, and then you have a medium month where your marketing's starting to work, and then you have a great month revenue wise where you are in the clinic treating patients. But inevitably, you stop doing the marketing because you're too busy in the clinic. And we ride this roller coaster where in 12 months, 18, 24 months, you end up back in the same position you started with a lot of peaks, a lot of valleys. But at the end of the day, you end up spinning your wheels in the same place. Now, when you have an actual marketing plan that you stick to no matter what, that isn't a plan that is called when I have time. The worst marketing plan in the world is when I have time. If you're going to build a legitimate business that's going to get to seven figures, you have to have a marketing plan, structure, and system that works independent of how busy you are. And so one of the things we call it in our Rehab Chiro Mastermind community is marketing units. There's a certain amount of marketing units that must be fulfilled no matter what. If you are a rehab chiropractor and you're treating patients for 30 hours a week, fine, no problem. You have a few options. Let's just say you're treating 30 hours a week, but your practice's marketing plan executes on 100 marketing units. Well, at that point, we know that the practice will only grow to $1 million if we do our 100 marketing units. So now we have a decision to make. You either hire an associate that can take the patient care off your hands and you can go fulfill that 100 units of marketing, or you hire a marketing team, marketing assistant, marketing manager, outsource your marketing, and they can fulfill on the 100 units. The point being is that your company needs to fulfill on a certain amount of marketing independent of what you just choose to do. If you're going to run a business that's going to get to $1 million, you cannot run a marketing business or a marketing plan based on the plan of I'll do it when I have time. So you must get to $1 million. You must absolutely have an actual marketing plan. Number five, you have to understand buying questions. When I first got into practice and people would ask me, do you take insurance? I would cringe. I would get scared. I would get sweaty. I hate that question. Why does everyone ask? But now what I know 10 years later is that when someone asks me if I take insurance, that's the best question of all because they're asking buying questions. If no one had interest in my product or service, they're not going to ask if I actually take their insurance. Now I look at that as a positive. Here's an even better one. We are priced higher than anyone else in our marketplace. And the question often becomes I don't understand. Why are you so expensive? What a beautiful question. Because my answer now is, I'm so glad that you asked. Am I okay to explain why? Wow. What a mindset shift. And so if you're going to get to $1 million, you have to go in the marketplace and recognize when people are asking buying questions. Do you take my insurance? Buying question. Why are you so expensive? Buying question. I'm not sure if I need that many sessions. What do you think? Buying question. I used to cringe away from these, and many of you out there absolutely cringe from those because you have scarcity and money issues. I will tell you that's the best thing in your practice, in your business, because people are actually asking questions, picturing if they're going to buy. Now, the skill set is, can you go and speak to them in a way and communicate if you don't take insurance or why you are so expensive? Because if you can do that, then you've got a shot to build this business the way that you want. Number six, do one thing well to $1 million. Do one thing well to get to $1 million. The idea that the F word comes into play here, focus, and the D word, distraction, plays here. I can't tell you how many rehab chiros come to me and get stuck at $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 a month, and they want to add another service. They want to add shockwave or EMT, or they want to add a training program or small group training or acupuncture or physical therapy. They want to add 1,000 different things. But the reality is, I can show you now on paper that you can get absolutely to $1 million in revenue with 30 to 40% profit margin without the owner doing anything by just delivering one service better than anyone else in the area. If you understand your customer better than anyone else does, if you price appropriately and can sell to those customers, if you can run a marketing plan that's going to work no matter what, if you can communicate and build a team and have a group of people that are willing to go to war with you, and you can just do that one thing, rinse and repeat, over and over and over again. Let's not make it more complicated than it needs to be. You do one thing better than anybody else and you will get to 7 figures. Do not complicate this. You don't need to add a sauna. You don't need to add a cold plunge. You don't need to do all these crazy ideas. If you want to make money, do the thing that you've already been doing at a high level and do all of the steps here. Get your price right, get your marketing, get your sales, but do one thing extraordinarily well. The question I have for each one of you listening to this that thinks that I'm crazy is, do you want to be distracted or do you want to be rich? Do you want to be distracted or do you want to be rich? If you want to be distracted, add another product and service. If you want to be distracted, do something different. If you want to be distracted, do something that makes you feel busy and makes you no money. If you want to be time poor in your life and you think that's a badge of honor because you're so busy and that's what makes you happy, then do that. I have zero interest in that game. I want to help you build wealth. I want to help you become rich. I want to help you get time back so you can take your child like I can to school every day and pick them up and go to the park with them and do all of that. But if you want to be distracted and you think that busy is a badge of honor, then do everything else. If you want to be rich, if you want to be wealthy, if you want to be a service to your community, and if you want to build a team and build a life that you love, absolutely love, do one thing well, very, very well, better than anyone else in the world. And number seven, you will not get to $1 million as a Rehab Chiro if you don't build the team. You will not get to $1 million if you don't build the team. Dan Martell, you build the people build the business. You build the people build the business. As a Rehab Chiro, you can do the math. If you're going to work 30 hours a week or 35 hours a week and see patients at $300, you can do the math on that. What I know is that a solo Rehab Chiro doing well will make somewhere between $300,000 and $400,000 if they're priced appropriately. And you can do the math on that. So if you want to get to seven figures, you have to build the team. Not only do you need to hire other providers, but one of the places where I see most Rehab Chiros get stuck is they figure out how to fill their own schedule, and then they bring on an associate and fill that schedule, and then they forget that there are other aspects of this business that need to come along with it. I can't tell you how many people disrespect the org chart. And what's the org chart? You have to have a legitimate marketing department. You have to have someone that can do marketing assistant type work. They have to be able to provide social media. They have to be able to edit videos, write emails, bring people in the pipeline, fix your CRM. You have to have a sales function. You have to have an admin that can get on the phone to outbound and inbound calls. You have to do people that can do follow-up. Operationally, you have to have an admin that potentially can help do all the BS that you don't want to do, and you have to have clinicians more than you that can do it. You have to have a finance department, maybe not internally, but you can outsource CFOs or accountants or people of that function. You will not get to $1 million by yourself. And if you disrespect any position on the org chart, you will get stuck. It could be at 300,000, it could be at 500,000, it could be at 600,000, but you must fulfill each level of the org chart in order to grow. It might be 600,000-700,000, and that's a great thing. If you can't figure out how to have other people help you and build this business with you, you will get stuck and you will get burnt out and you will get tired. I can tell you that money in the bank and being wealthy, but being in the business 60 hours a week, is a complete waste of your time. There is no life with that. You might have money, but it doesn't matter because you're never going to be able to enjoy it. You build the people build the business. One of the best lines I heard about building people is this. Many people that have scaled their business up, they've made $300,000-$400,000, maybe even $500,000-$700. The question often becomes is that you figured out how to make $1, but the question becomes, can you figure out how someone else can make $1 for you? Let me say it again. You figured out how to make $1. The question now becomes, can you figure out how someone else can make $1 for you? If you can do that and you build the people, then they can make $1 for you. You've got a chance to get to seven figures. Without that, you're going to get stuck. So, quickly, to review. Number one, you must fix your model. If it doesn't work on paper, it isn't going to work. Number two, get paid first. Figure out a way where you can get the money in so that you can reinvest it in people and team and marketing before you actually deliver a service. Number three, learn pricing strategy. If you are better than everyone else and price the same, people are going to be skeptical. Number four, build an actual marketing plan that will function independent of how many hours you're in the clinic. Number five, understand buying questions. Things like, do you take my insurance or why are you so expensive? Those are good, positive questions if you see it that way. Number six, do one thing well. You don't need to add 17,000 different products and layers. And again, I'm just living proof of that because my practice Strive to Move, we do one thing better than anyone else in our community, and we can get seven figures. Number seven, build the people. You build the people build business, marketing, sales, operation, finance. That is how a business grows. There is no company in the world, unless you're in some sort of SaaS or startup or tech world, we are not, that can get to seven figures without building a team. So if you disrespect any of these and don't follow these 7 steps, I can guarantee you, you are going to live a life of being broke, tired, poor, time poor, and you will never build the wealth, help your community, and build the family the way that you want. Ignore this at your own peril, and I can't wait to see you soon. All right, guys, you know what's coming before I go. Please click in the show notes. Let's go. Be a little different, huh? be a little different. I know your dad or your mom is telling you, just wait till the new year. Why? Because that's what they've done. If you want to be different, you have to think different. Let's go. Before we wait until the middle of January and say, hey, let me see how it goes. If it hasn't gone well up to now, it isn't going to change. The only way you change in life is to freaking change. So click the show notes below. Let's jump on a call with our team. No hassle, no obligation. We'll see if the program is a good fit for you. It might be the move that you need to change your business, change your life, change your family tree. I have seen this happen time and time again. I have proof. So click the show notes below and we will see you on the other side.